everyone, it's Ghost here and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Creative. Yes, I'm recording this on the day it goes up. No, I don't care. Hopefully, this voiceover will work. It turns out it doesn't like to play the audio when my CPU is running really high. So, fingers crossed, we have it all fixed now. So, what can I say about this entire build? First of all, if you like this build, make sure to A, like the video, and B, subscribe so you don't miss out when the second part comes out, because there's going to be a Phantom's Lair to go along with this. Now, technically, it was already built at the point of me building the theatre, because it is right below, because I needed to clear the space out first. But we don't talk about that fact. It's definitely not a thing that happened. You'll see in the next video that it had to be built first, because it was a very big build that took me a couple of hours. Now, we need to talk about the block choices, because these aren't blocks that I use a lot for most of this. We have black and grey terracotta, because neutral colours, and I used endstone, which isn't something I think I've ever really done before. Mainly because I tend to work with the warmer colours, and I decided, let's use some cold colours today. And I also used copper for the roof, because I wanted this building to look like it'd been around for a while. So, I guess it looks like it's been around for a while now. So, when I was trying to record this yesterday, we had done PSHE in form time, and what did it happen to be about? Social media. A school classic. Let's patronise the children into thinking social media is inherently bad. Now, I'm not saying that things on the internet aren't all good. There's some good things and there's some very bad things. I mean, we all know some of the controversies that happened recently, and we're not going to get into that this video, and I don't think we will ever discuss it, because it's not our place to discuss here on the ams.a channel other things that have happened on the internet, unless it involves us, and then we can. So, schools love to tell us that social media is bad for your self-esteem. Now, in some cases, yes, it is. I mean, when I see a video has only got maybe a view, or it hasn't got any, I tend to feel a bit sad about it, because it's like, oh, I put a lot of work into that video. It's a lot of very chaotic time-lapse footage with a voiceover that some of the time I have thought about, other times not necessarily as much, which is probably something I should work on. Now, my first problem that I had with it was the wording. So it was Insta-star YouTube influencer life versus real life. And I was like, you do realise that there is a crossover between real life and life on social media. Yes, some things are very much staged. I have lost track of how many times I've had to start re-recording this, because I had to double check my microphone was actually working. It is. I don't know what it is with my laptop. It just won't play the audio to me. But I think the funny thing was, this is kind of my second thing, they asked us, what would life be like if you were a social media influencer? And my first thought was, analytics, viewer retention, every single thing you have to consider to figure out, is my content working, is it not? Now, I'd say my content, it does work. It's just not necessarily the best, and that's something I'm obviously working on considering. However, in the run-up to Christmas, I kind of don't have time to change my content up too much. Obviously, it's going to stick to creative Minecraft, because that's the thing I'm good at. One thing I've just noticed is I forgot to mention the fact I used quartz stairs, and, what was it? I saw something, coloured glass. I used some coloured glass on there as well. That's an important fact. And I made a chandelier thing in the middle. I mean, not the coolest looking chandelier, but it is a chandelier. Now, you see, I haven't exactly cut sections of this audio. If I pause, it usually stays in there. The only times I'll ever cut things if I accidentally goes too silent for too long at the end. I try to keep most of what I talk about very real, very much things that are happening in my life, because I want you, as the viewer, to feel, oh yeah, I kind of know some stuff about this person. I can connect to them because of obviously, some of the things that I want my viewers to be able to connect to is the fact I'm autistic, I'm non-binary, and I want people to feel like this is a safe place, that as long as you're not an asshole, you are welcome here. Now, why is it school has this thing that social media is entirely bad? And that is a question that I need you lot to answer for me. Because I said, what they don't know is I'm going to go home today and I'm going to talk about this on YouTube, and they're never going to find out. Now, obviously I have Twitter, potentially one of the most toxic apps on the entire internet. I mean, everyone's emotions are heightened by like 10 times at least. It's the craziest app. There's so many controversies that go down on there. And I think we were asked, would you be able to go for a week without access to social media? And my immediate thought was, no. I wouldn't be able to go for a week without social media because, I mean, I have friends who live across the ocean from me that half the reason I know what they're up to, how they're doing, is social media. It's such a great thing, and it's also such a negative thing. And obviously, the angle the schools come at tends to look at the negative side of things, which I always find a bit odd, because it's like, why wouldn't you also want to look at some of the positives that come from social media? I mean, random example I can think of, Ranveer's subathon that he did last year. That's something that, because of social media, was such a great thing that happened. If we didn't have social media, things like that can't happen. Obviously, charity things will still happen, but things on that scale are less likely to happen. I mean, I wouldn't have found some of my favourite TV shows without social media. I'm definitely not watching The Rookie Feds while I record this voiceover, which is a great choice, because I keep stopping and getting distracted by it. Now, in this part of the build, I kind of tried one thing with the room and decided I don't like this because there's not enough colour on it. So we had to fix that. So, in probably less than 30 seconds on this video, you're going to see me change to copper. There we go. I changed to copper. Now, I didn't want it to be fully weathered because I wanted there to be some texture to it. And, you know, well, this build, a lot of the builds are about trying to mix up textures, experiment, stop sticking to the same routine, which is really difficult. And I think part of that's because I'm autistic. But going back to the topic of, whatchamacallit, words. Yeah, we love words. The internet. Obviously, you're never going to really know who someone is on the internet. I mean, I hide what my face looks like. The only times I really have the sunglasses off. Well, I rarely put my face on camera with sunglasses unless it's for TikTok. But the only times I really do it otherwise is cosplays, or if I feel comfortable doing so. But I mean, obviously on things like streams, I would keep them on. They would stay on at all times. But just because you don't know exactly who a person is on the internet doesn't mean they're instantly a bad person. Obviously, there are people on the internet who are bad people, but it doesn't immediately make everyone a bad person because you don't know who they are, which is something I think the schools seem to miss. So, continuing to talk about the build, this is inspired by Phantom of the Opera, obviously. So, one day I'm going to build a very grand version of this, but that was not an option for a Halloween build, because it turns out I still have one video left to record, and I haven't even started on that, so that might be the thing I do for the rest of the evening, because next episode is obviously going to be the lair. Then we're going to have a bit of a town area built, because I realised I was kind of missing. There was a total of one house. and we kind of can't just have one house and call it a Halloween town, so there's got to be plenty. What Minecraft needs is more Halloween decorations. I want Halloween decorations for Minecraft that don't require mods, because let's just say mods really annoy me trying to download them. But we are coming to the end of the video now. We are in the final minute, and in a second we are going to have a quick walkthrough of the thing. So, in a second, here we go. We have warped wood doors as well. This is the outside, and then as we go in, there's kind of a little foyer section, and you go in, and when you go up those stairs, you will find the boxes. We have 1 through 5, and remember, you should never say in box 5, that is reserved specifically for the Phantom. Then down here, we obviously have the seating area that isn't the boxes, and if you go up here, this is onto the stage. There's one backstage wing, and then there is the stairs and kind of more of a backstage area. Now as we go down here, we head towards the lower level of the theatre, of which you are going to get to see properly exactly how all of this was built in the next video. So goodbye everyone, this has been a fun video, goodbye!